We are at video number 2, working into balancing postures. Get started in Tadasana. Bring the big toes to touch. Small little space in the heels. So you don't want the heels to be too far apart, but you don't want them to be completely touching. So get comfortable in the feet. Feel yourself grounded and rooted at the soles of the feet. Try to push your hips back, not sticking them way back, sticking your butt out. But try not to tuck your tailbone in either. You want to find a nice neutral position in the hips, but stack the hips, feel the hips directly over the heels. What does that do? That helps to balance the center and countenance of your body. So bring the shoulders back so that the shoulders are stacked over the hips as well. And let's take notice of the shoulders. So we don't want the shoulders scrunched up. When we lift up and out of the waist, we're not lifting from the tops of the shoulders, we're lifting from underneath. So underneath the shoulders, if I could stick my hands right in between your rib cage to lift you up, it's right in here that we begin to engage the body to lift up and out of the waist, decompressing in the lower back. Palms facing forward, chin away from the chest, not tucked in, not lifted up. So you get good and solid, feeling yourself from the top of the head all the way down to the heel, nice and solid and stacked. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, interlace the fingers, release the index, cross the thumbs. Bring the shoulders in and up on your next inhale, reach up and out of the waist. On the exhale, send your body up and over to the right, keeping the chin away from the chest. Continue to reach up. This is a very active pose. We're not just standing here and bending the body. In fact, we're not bending the body at all. We're lifting and lengthening with each inhale, and on the exhale, you stretch up and slowly begin to move over to the right. We're not getting crazy in the body, not pushing the hips or jutting the hips way out to the left. The higher you lift, the more you elongate, the less you need to even move to the right to deepen that stretch along the left-hand side of the body. Keeping the shoulders in and up, chin away from the chest, making each breath count in moving deeper into the pose. Inhale, lift, lift, lift. Exhale, move a little deeper. One more breath. Find some length and space. Exhale, move a little deeper into the pose. Release, come to center. Big inhale, reach up and out of the waist. Exhale, send the body up and over to the right. So we're going to hold this pose for about a minute, using each breath to deepen that stretch now along the right-hand side of the body. Not folding forward, not arching back, lifting straight up and out of the waist, chin away from the chest. The higher you lift, the less you need to move to the left to deepen the stretch on the right. Taking your time, feel it. Feel what's happening in the body. Feel your body lift and lengthen. Feel your body stretch and find space on the inhale. And on the exhale, deepening that stretch, the body begins to lift up and ever so slightly to the left. Deepening the stretch, one more inhale, find some length and space. Exhale, move a little deeper, release, come to center. We're going to take our first back bend. Bring the shoulders in and up, reach up, up, up. Now we're not bending hardly anything at all. Again, the higher you lift, the less you need to lean back to deepen the stretch now along the front side of the body. Lift, lengthen, find a little more space. Exhale, deepen the stretch. Release. Come on up. Slowly float the body down. You can pedal the feet, bend the knees, do what feels good. Loosen the tightness from that back bend. Moving into our first set of Padahastasana, bring the big toes to touch, small little space in the heels. It's really important that you keep the chest connected to the thighs. Why is that? Because in here, I'm using the hips and the body together to not only lift, but my upper body to send the body down. What happens if I engage the body and arch? That's a lot of pressure on the back. So flatten the chest, to the thighs. Reach around back behind you. Take a deep bend at the knees. Try to cup your heels in the hands, bringing your pinkies to touch, and wedge the forearms back behind the calves. Let your head hang and slowly begin to lift your hips. Nothing crazy, small little movements to get there. We're going to hold this pose for a while, but it's very active. So engage your upper body strength by pulling on your heels just like you would a bar for a pull-up. Let your head hang. We're solid at the hips, and using the upper body strength, begin to feel your back open. Let the heaviness of your heads take you down deeper so you're loose in the neck. Pull on the heels, engage the upper body, so important. One more breath, take it a little deeper. Release. Both palms come flat to the mat. Both legs move back into high plank position and move through your flow. Whew. Take a big cleansing breath. Open, sigh it out. Come up high on the balls of the feet. Look to the top of your mat. Hop, step, or jump to your mat. Come to stand. Moving into our second set of standing half moon. We're going to take it at half the time. You're familiar with the pose, so let's move into the place we left off and take it a little deeper. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Interlace the fingers, release the index, cross the thumbs, bring the shoulders in and up. Reach the arms up too, fingertips reaching. Lift up and out of the waist, exhale. Body moves up and over to the right. Lift, lengthen, elongate. Get active in this pose. Stretch the body up, taking the body up and over. Deepening the stretch along the left-hand side of the body now, chin away from the chest. Inhale, find length and space. Exhale, move a little deeper into the pose. Release, come to center. Let's do that on the other side. Big inhale, come up and out of the waist. Exhale, send your body up and over to the left. Chin up, reaching up, up, up and out of the waist. Sending the body a little deeper to the right. Moving the hips a little further, or the body to the left, the hips to the right. But more importantly, it's the lift. Deepen that stretch along the right-hand side of the body. And release, come to center. Taking the second back bend now. Big inhale, come up and out of the waist. Exhale, body reaches up, stretching first. Take it as high as you can and then slowly lean back. But continue to lift up and back. So it's very active in the lift up and very active in tightening to send the body back. Release. Slowly begin to fold your body forward. This time I like to take my feet apart already, hips width distance. Pedal the knees. And we just set up the next pose. So second set of Padahastasana, deep forward fold. Now the feet come apart, hips width distance. Bend the knees and send the chest connected, glued to the thighs. Now we're going to slide the hands, palms up under the feet. You want to feel the whole back of your hand flat to the mat, your toes all the way to the wrist crease. Let your head hang and slowly begin to lift your hips. Using your upper body strength. We're set in the hips, the chest connected to the thigh. Slowly begin to lift the hips. Don't get crazy though. The most important part is to engage your upper body. So much so the elbows are bowing out. Now let your head hang heavy. The heaviness of the head, the heaviness of the body, contributing to the stretch in the lower back. Continue to pull on the feet and lift on the hips. Feel your vertebrae open, your forehead moving towards your shins. Release. Woo. Both palms come flat to the mat. Both legs move back and move through your flow. Whew. All right, let's take a big inhale through the nose. Open, let it go. Come up high on the balls of the feet. Look to the top of your mat. Hop, step, or jump to the middle of your mat. Come to stand. So now we're going to move into our fierce postures. Feet come apart, hips width distance. The heels directly under the hips. Shoulders stacked over the hips. Come up and out of the waist. For the next three postures, your arms will come out directly in front of you. Fingers glued, palms down. Take a moment to bring the arms back into the shoulder sockets to keep the nice lift in the chest. On your next inhale, come up and out of the waist. Exhale, take a bend at the knees and begin to squat your body down. Take your time. Do not hurry. Don't rush this. Feel the balance all the way down. Take a glance down to the knees, just making sure that your knees don't move any further than the toes. So the knees right at the toes. In order to go a little deeper, you lift a little higher up and out of the waist and you send the hips back. Keep the chin away from the chest, arms nice and extended. One more breath. Release, come all the way up. Keep the body nice and firm, lifting up and out of the waist. Now you're going to come up on the balls of the feet, lifting your heels as high as you can get them. Find some place to focus in front of you. Get connected to your dristi. I like mine right over the nose. Keep the heels lifted. Feel that. Now keep the heels lifted. If you want to take a little bend at the knees, notice what happens. The front of the feet move forward and you can lift your heels a little higher. Keep working on the lift in the heel, pushing the front of the feet forward. It's not sending the body down that's as important as the lift in the heels. Continue to push the front of the feet forward. Release, come all the way up. Heels come down to the mat. Our final posture, arms stay extended in front of you. Bring the arms back into the sockets. Keep the lift in the chest. Come up and out of the waist on your next inhale. Oh, excuse me. Come up halfway on the balls of the feet. Bring your knees to touch. Keep your knees touching and slowly begin to send the body down. Now, it's not a race to the heels. In fact, if you get to the heels and you're resting there, that's a no-no. Sit up. Come up away from the heels. You're balancing, maybe hovering over the heels. Wherever you are, come up a couple inches from right there. Hold. Tighten the core. Feel it. Release. Come all the way up. Heels come down to the mat. Release your arms, give them a good shake. Moving into our first set of eagle. Get solid in Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, right arm swings right under the left. Wrap your forearms tightly. Bring your elbows up and away from the body. You want to feel this stretch in the upper part of the shoulder. Try not to dip your body forward. Keep your shoulders stacked over the hips. That means you've got to tighten up the core. Take a deep bend at the knees. Slowly, the right leg comes up and over the left. You take your time. The less movements you have to make, meaning not dipping forward, that means you don't have to balance so much, work so hard to get into the position. Keep your shoulders stacked over the hips, tighten the core, squeezing the inner thigh. We send the body down a little deeper, taking a little deeper bend at the left knee. Bring the elbows up and away. One more good squeeze. Release. Arms come up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, left arm swings under the right. Set up your eagle, elbows up and away from the body. Don't dip forward. Keep the shoulders stacked over the hips. Take a deep bend at the knees. Slowly take your time. Left leg up and over the right. Lift the elbows. Move the elbows away from the body. Tighten the core. Lifting the shoulders. Remember, from underneath the shoulders. Decompressing in the lower back. Your chin comes away from the chest. You are squeezing the inner thigh just ever so slightly. Bring the body down a little deeper. Squeeze. One more breath. Make it count. Release. Arms come up overhead. Palms touch. Reach up and out of the waist for a gentle little back bend. Exhale. Fold your body forward. Palms to the mat. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, both palms come flat to the mat. Move into your high plank position and flow. All right. Heels to the mat, hips lifted, push away from the mat, nice and strong. Feel this pose. Big inhale through the nose. Open side out. It's a great place to take a break if you need one. If you're moving forward, come up high on the balls of the feet. Hop, step, or jump to the middle of your mat. Come to stand. Or actually, let's remain in a forward folded position. Bring your palms to touch the mat. So we're in a deep fold. Take a deep bend at the knees. Keep your fingertips touching the mat. Stay deep in your squat. Only inhale, sweep the arms up. Utkatasana. Pinkies in, thumbs out. Reaching up, up, up. Stay in your squat. Only draw the arms down and back. Palms facing down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Try not to let the hips come up. Reach up and out of the waist. Exhale, draw the arms down and back. Inhale, sweep the arms up. This time, bring the palms to touch. Gaze at the base of the palms. Sit a little deeper. Squeeze. Release. Come all the way up. Second set of eagle. Right arm swings underneath the left. Wrap the forearms tightly. Elbows up and away. Deep bend at the knees. Right leg up and over the left. A lot of focus. Tighten the core. Elbows up and away from the body. Find that stretch in the upper shoulder. Squeeze the inner thigh, take a little deeper bend at that left knee. Send the body down while you lift up and out of the waist. Chin up, one more squeeze. Release, arms come up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, left arm swings under the right, elbows up and away. Deep bend at the knees. Slowly the left leg comes up and over the right. Take your time. Take your time and then work to settle in the pose. Squeezing. I start from squeezing the inner thigh, tightening the core, trying to sit the body back to keep the shoulders stacked over the hips. Keep lifting up and out of the waist so we continue to elongate the spine. Elbows up and away from the body, chin away from the chest. One more good squeeze. Release. Arms come up overhead, palms touch. Bring your hands to heart center. Grab a quick sip of water. We'll take a little break and then we'll move on. So right here is a good place to reconnect to your Ujjayi. If you're taking a cool sip of water, try not to guzzle. Small little sips. So nice outside. As we get into warmer temps, you could execute yoga outside in the shade and probably get close to the same sensation that you'd have in the studio. So play with it a little bit. It's a lot of fun. It's so nice to be outside for a change. All right, when you're ready, make your way back to the middle of your mat. We're moving into our intense balancing postures. So you want to get really good and centered. You want to feel yourself centered and balanced in the body. And we do that by stacking it all up. If you're leaning too far forward, you're going to have a lot of issue when you begin to transition the weight back. So start from a firm foundation. Try to move as little as possible, as slowly as possible, to slowly and effectively move into the pose. All right, getting solid in Tadasana, chin away from the chest, reaching from up and underneath the shoulders, not the top, palms facing forward. Try to move very little and only lift the right knee, bringing the thigh parallel to the mat. We take a hard flex in the foot. So we do that to totally engage that right leg. The left leg is solid. Come up and out of the waist, chin up. Stay here, work on your balance. This is perfectly okay. If you're wobbly, try not to move. You can hold your balance, bringing the palm to the knee right here. Just become centered, or slowly begin to round your body down. Try to take the body down and not the knee up to interlace the fingers under the ball of the foot. Slowly begin to kick your heel away from the body. Come up and out of the waist. Straighten that left leg. Straighten that right leg. Come up and out of the waist. On the inhale, slowly begin to fold your body forward. On the exhale, the elbows come down around the calf. Maybe your forehead floats to the shin. Slowly, the way you went in, begin to come out. 3, 2, 1. Whew, lots of focus. All right, let's do that on the left side. Get solid in Tadasana. Don't take that for granted. You have to start from that place of center and stay centered. Here we go. Move nothing else but lift the left knee. Thigh parallel to the mat. Send the heel away from the body. Hard flex in the foot. Straighten and get that right leg good and solid. Come up and out of the waist. Stay here, work on your balance, or slowly begin to round your body down. Take the body down, not the knee up. Interlace the fingers under the ball of the foot. Try not to bend that right knee. Come up and out of the waist as you kick that heel forward. Yes, both legs straight. Slowly hinging at the waist. On your exhale, fold the body forward. Your elbows come down around the calves. Maybe your forehead floats to the shin. Release for 3, 2, 1. Bring your palms to the lower back and push the hips forward for a gentle little back bend. Nothing crazy. Just give it a little stretch. All right, second balancing posture is standing big toe. Get solid in Tadasana. Bring the left palm to the waist. Reach down with your right index, forefinger, and thumb to hook your big toe. Now, you want to bring the knee up good and high. You don't want this to happen. It's as if the sole of your foot is flat to your mat. Come up and out of the waist. So we're hinging the leg to the outside of the body. Slowly begin to kick your heel away from the body. Try not to let your right shoulder move forward. That way you don't have to make the adjustment. Keep that right shoulder back. Slowly open the leg out to the right. Don't get hung up if you have a little bend at the knees. What's more important is that you're pulling that right shoulder back. Slowly open. Now we begin to come back to center. Keep the leg lifted, release the toe. Both arms go up for 3, 2, 1. Very good. Hey, Lucky. Hey, Lucky. This is my buddy, Lucky. All right, let's do that on the other side. Here we go. Right palm to the waist. Reach down with the left index, forefinger, and thumb to hook your big toe. The knee comes to the outside of the chest. Beautiful. Slowly begin to kick your heel away from the body. Keep that left shoulder back. Now slowly open the leg out to the left. Keep your focus good and centered. Feel your body. Take the leg out to where you're balanced. Slowly send the leg out back to center. Keep the leg lifted. Release the toe. Both arms go up for 3, 2, 1. Good. Takes a lot of focus. So try not to let your eyeballs move all over the place either. Try to keep your dristi in place. And when you do transition, you do move the eyeballs. Try not to send them crazy because then that'll throw your balance off too. So let's get solid into Tadasana, working into dancer pose. Stacking it up, feel it. Get solid in the body, solid in mountain pose. Bring the right elbow to the waist, palm facing up. Keep your palm facing out. Don't let the wrist flick. And take a hold of the inside of the right foot or ankle. Bring your knees to touch. Your inner thighs zipped up. Left arm reaches up. Bringing the shoulder in and up, but your palm is facing forward, chin away from the chest. Work to keep the body nice and stacked, meaning your hips still over the heel, shoulders over the hips. Don't let that right foot drag you back. Continue to lift up and out of the waist, decompressing in the lower back, chin away from the chest. So when we hold postures for a good amount of time, the body slowly begins to move out of the pose. We want to mindfully keep the body in the pose. So keep checking in. Staying connected is part of the meditation. Chin away from the chest. Keep lifting, lengthening, elongating. Don't let yourself get drugged back by the foot. You are holding the foot. It's not holding you. Just a few more breaths right here to get good and connected. Feel yourself solid and strong. Release. Very good. All right. Let's do that on the left side. Getting solid in Tadasana. Left elbow to the waist, palm facing up. Don't flip the wrist. Keep the palm facing out. Reach down, take a hold of the inside of the left foot or ankle. Knees touch, inner thigh zipped, right arm reaches. Chin away from the chest. Keep bringing that left shoulder forward and up. Stay with the elongation in the spine. Lifting from under the shoulders. Engaging the core, tightening the core around the spine. Solid. Solid in this stance. Chin away from the chest. Finding your gaze. Meditating in the pose. As you hold and feel it, making little tiny adjustments to keep the body connected. Just a couple more breaths right here. Don't let your body move forward. Keep your body nice and solid, stacked, chin away from the chest, reach the fingers high, lift from under the shoulders, release. Very good. All right, we're going to play with a little bit of movement. Now, playing with movement may mean that you don't go into the full pose. That's okay. Don't get hung up on it. It's a beautiful pose. Some folks execute it in a variety of ways. The most important thing is to feel what's happening. You should feel a nice stretch. So let's take the time. Right elbow to the waist, palm facing up. Reach down, take a hold of the inside of the right foot or ankle. Knees touch. Left arm reaches. Now, on your next inhale, reach up and out of the waist. On the exhale, begin to kick first, kick hard. The body doesn't need to move forward. We're working on the kick. Sending the leg back as far as you can. Don't let that right shoulder move out. Resist the urge. Bring that right shoulder forward, that right hip forward. Use your arm strength and send the toes a little higher. Keep reaching up and out of the waist. Hold your focus, not your breath. Take your time. release, come back to center. All right, let's do the left side. Take your time, left elbow at the waist, palm facing up. Reach down, take a hold of the inside of the left foot or ankle. Knees touch, inner thigh zipped, right arm reaches. Reach up and out of the waist on the inhale. Slowly on the exhale, we kick. First, kick hard. Feel that left shoulder move back. Resist the urge to let it move back. Bring that left shoulder forward. Left hip forward. Use your arm strength. Send the toes back a little more. Whew, almost biffed it. Keep reaching, lengthening. Release. If you ever fall out, you just start right back where you came from. Start into Tadasana, move all over again. All right, but let's move on. 2 sets of balancing sticks and then we'll take a break. Start in Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Interlace the fingers, release the index, cross the thumbs. Bring the shoulders in and up on the inhale. Exhale, small step on the right foot, hinge at the right hip. Nothing else moves. The body comes up, the left toes come up. Hard point of the toes as we create a large capital T with the body. Release, step back. Arms remain lifted. Big inhale, come up and out of the waist. Exhale, small step on the left foot, hinge at the left hip. The body comes down, the right toes come up. Nothing else moves. We're only hinging at that left hip. Slow, easy movement, slow, easy breath. Release, step back. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Palms touch, cross the thumbs. Another big inhale lifts you higher. Exhale, small step on the right foot, hinge at the right hip. Now the body comes down. We move to warrior 3. Keep the toes pointing down. That left hip points down. Arms come out wide. Bring your hands to heart center. Come up and out of the waist. And you can float your palms forward, or I like to keep reaching up and out of the waist, trying to bring the chin up, elongating. Release. Step back. Arms lifted. Inhale. Sweep the arms, lift up and out of the waist. Exhale, small step on the left foot. Hinge at the left hip. The body comes down. The arms come out. We move to warrior 3. Right hip down, toes down. Slight lift of the chest, hands to heart center. Slowly float the palms forward, or I like to lift up and out of the waist. Chin up. Release. Step back. Bring your hands to heart center. Bow to your hands, sealing in your standing practice. Grab a quick sip of water. Roll over on your backs.